What is up, you guys? It's Nat, and welcome to my first ever speed build. Today we are building, as you can tell by the title, Little Ranch, Small Family Home. Oh, that's such a terrible, terrible title, but I really just wanted to get this video out to you guys. And honestly, this speed build, okay, right now I'm watching the playback and it's pretty laggy. My game wasn't laggy, but it looks like the software that I'm using to render the video is, so hopefully it's not laggy for you. I'm gonna try to fix that before I publish it. But anyway, this build should not have taken me as long as it did, but it took me 3 hours because I had like a floor plan. I knew exactly what I wanted, and then as usual, I was having issues executing it perfectly. So, I mean, I'm pretty proud of it. I'm pretty proud of it. I've done some like exterior things I've never really done before with the house. And I think that, while this was a little cramped, it's definitely cramped, guys. It's definitely a cozy little family home. But I mean, what do you expect? But I do think that I am getting better at interior decorating. I don't know. I feel like back in like The Sims 2, I used to be terrible at exterior, but pretty good at inside. Wow, pretty good at inside, pretty good at interior. But then it kind of switched around, and now it's like, okay, I don't have issues with like, say, bathrooms usually, bedrooms, stuff like that. But when it comes to like the living room, the dining room, and the kitchen, I have such a hard time because I'm so into open floor plans. But at the same time, I have such a difficult time because they are open floor. So I don't know. Maybe someone out there knows my struggle, but. Anyway, is this absolutely perfect? No, but I don't think anything that I ever make is going to be absolutely perfect, but I just hope that you guys enjoy it. I checked, and I think it is just about 54,000 simoleons, so obviously more expensive than, a starter home, but this is a 2-bedroom, 2-bath, ideally would fit 3 Sims, so ideal for, your parents and then 1-child Sim family, or, however you want to do it, roommates or something. Whatever. But anyway, so I feel like I should talk about the build, but at the same time, like I said, I think this took me about 3 hours to do, and the way I have it right now, it is going at like 1,000% speed. I don't know if that's normal or not. This is my first speed build, like I said, but I think the runtime is about 25 minutes before we get to screenshots. So yeah, I gotta sit here and talk for 25 minutes, and with how fast the speed build is going, it's like, how do I sit here and go, oh yeah, you see how I just did that? And we're already on to something else, So since this is my first, I guess, official, like, content video, might as well talk about the obvious thing that I mentioned, like, in my actual first video back, is, my gap here on YouTube. I'm trying to think of how to start this. And I don't want to get depressing either. But like I said, I've been gone for almost 10 years. I think whenever I look at my first original video on here, the Sims 2 Treehouse video, it's like 9 years old or something. So I did try coming back somewhere in between high school and college, and I did like a Roller Coaster Tycoon 3 video. A lot of people were doing like ride-ons with their roller coasters, and I hated it. It sucked. So, that didn't go well, and I wound up eventually removing it because it only got like, I think 60 views on it in the course of maybe a year. It wasn't doing good, guys. Probably didn't help that I also forgot like how to tag videos. I just kind of threw it up there because I was like, hey, maybe some of my subscribers are still alive, and some of them actually were at the time. We had those old like discussion boards. I know we still have them, but I remember back when you could actually like personalize your YouTube channel. You could have the discussion board on there, and I would talk to my subscribers, and some people actually responded, and they were like, oh, like, it's so exciting that you're back, and blah blah blah, because like, I had friends on YouTube, and then I just kind of, I don't want to say abandoned them, but I mean, yeah, it's basically what I did. And by the way, I don't know if you just saw it, but I was putting in the fence, and I put in a double gate. I don't know if anybody else used to do this, but back in like old Sims games, like, you could never find a good gate that would take up 2 grid squares. So you would always take one and then invert it the other way and make a copy of it. And so that would be like, a double gate. And I totally just did that because I wanted, a 2-square gate. But do you think I have it? No. It's Sims 4 and I'm still doing this. But anyway. Oh, boy. Oh, yeah, I'm doing the roof right now. It's like not a cheat, but it's a handy little thing to know when you're like adjusting the hangover if you hold down the shift key, or at least for Mac users anyway, because unfortunately right now I'm doing all these videos on a Mac and it stinks. I love Macs a lot, but like mine is really, really old. And I'm trying to save up for a new gaming PC right now. But anyway, if you hold down the shift key, it helps you to adjust only one side instead of both, and that's just really handy for when like the clips, when the roof starts clipping into itself, I guess. I don't know how to describe it, but anyway. So back to story time. That's what we should call these, just story times. But anyway. So yeah, I was gone for a long time, came back, left again. And the reason for me leaving in the first place, so like I was back in middle school. Like, I'm not lying, it has been about a decade. I was back in middle school. I was like, I think about 11, 12, 13 when I was making these videos. And I think I originally started making them because I really, really liked The Sims, but then I broke my ankle when I was 12, and so I was bedbound. I was out of school for a while, and I used to take karate classes, and I was out of that for like 6 months in recovery, so I started playing Sims more and more, and I started seeing people, I don't know if you guys remember it, but the craze of like the Sims 2 music videos. Oh man, those used to be a thing, and you can bet that I was on that train. I made them, and I also just made other fun, like, machinima style stuff, random quirky things, because like I said, I was like, 11, 12, I didn't really know what I was doing, but I was having fun with it. And, when I was 13, my grandfather passed away, and my grandfather was a really, really great guy. I know that some people, like, I remember back then distinctly, this one kid, when I returned to school finally, I must have been out of school for almost a month. Well, when I finally returned, this one kid was like, it was just your grandfather. Like, why were you out for so long? He's like, I lost my grandfather, and I wasn't out of school that long. And to me, it was like, well, maybe you didn't have the same relationship with him as I did with mine. Like, my parents worked a lot when I was young. And obviously, I'm not saying anything bad about them because, obviously they did it for me. They wanted me to have a good life, so they wanted to be stable, and they wanted to be able to do, things for themselves, so they worked a lot. So as I call them, my Nana, my Pampa, used to watch after me, as did my Oma and my Opa, my father's parents. But I had a really special relationship with my Pampa, and losing him, it was the first big loss I've ever experienced. Not many people experience loss that young. Some people experience it even younger, and I think that totally stinks, and I'm sorry for you if you have. But I have friends who still have, like, both sets of grandparents, and they've never lost anyone before, and I'm 23 now. I mean, we're talking people my age who've never really lost anyone like that. So sometimes they just don't get it. But I was just at a fragile state in my life where, I was starting to grow up. where I was starting to grow up and things were changing in my life, obviously. And all of a sudden, my grandfather was gone, who I looked up to. And I don't think I'll ever forgive myself for it, but my grandfather had been in the hospital at least once before. He had a heart problem, but he was okay. And I was really young back then, like really young. So when this happened, I went to school the first day that he was in the hospital. Didn't think any big deal of it. But then the second day rolled around, and obviously my parents knew something was up, but they didn't want to worry me, so they said, hey, why don't you come to the hospital? And I'll never, like, I just didn't know. I was ignorant. I was, like, 13. It was about 2 months after my birthday. I had just turned 13. I was naive, guys, and all I could think was, well, hey, it's a free day off of school, because what, and it sounds bad, and I'm hard on myself, but I know at the same time that I was just young. But anyway, I just thought that he was gonna be fine, and then obviously he wasn't, and obviously after that I wasn't either. I took it like really hard, and that's when actually depression started to become a thing in my life, and I didn't know what was wrong with me. I just knew that I was upset all the time, but I didn't know what depression was. And I stopped doing everything that I enjoyed. Like I said, I didn't go to school. I stopped, obviously, making YouTube videos, and I didn't really have an explanation as to why. And then I stopped hanging out with people. It wasn't a good time in my life. And, I know I don't want anyone watching this to think like, oh, you're just saying that you're depressed, but blah, blah, blah. Like, no, guys, I know that the word depression is thrown around, but I was actually diagnosed in high school when I was about 16, I would say. I did get diagnosed with depression. They had a screening for, depression and whatnot in the students. And obviously some red flags were raised with my answers, I guess. And that's how I got my help. Whew, sorry, guys. It's pretty late at night here right now. It's like 11 o'clock, and I'm just I'm a little out of it. But anyway, I didn't want this speed build to get depressing, but I just felt like it's my first speed build, and it's my first, like, actual content video, so I should probably have an explanation for why I wasn't here for so long. But yeah, that's basically what happened. My grandfather passed away, and it hit me really, really hard. And it looks like we just hit a part of the video that I had been considering cutting because I stepped away for a bit, but I didn't stop recording. I actually think that this is a part where I got up and decided to get cereal. So you might see me like start decorating other places and then occasionally pausing again. I can't remember if this is when I got up and got cereal or if I had to let the dog out, but I'm assuming if it's this long, I had to go get cereal. I had Reese's Puffs, you guys, and I've been dieting and trying to lose weight for the past couple months, so just with the holiday this past week, there we go. With the holiday this past week, I don't know, I just kind of went ham, and I was like, I'm gonna treat myself, because I've been doing so good, and I bought this giant thing of Reese's Puffs at BJ's, and I'm kind of regretting it, but whatever. Anybody else feel me? Cereal for lunch? Come on, it's pretty good. But anyway, so yeah, that is the reason why I was gone. And then obviously, like I said, at some point during high school or college, I can't remember when, it was about 6 years ago, I tried coming back and it just didn't work out. And I just kept trying to convince myself that I had more important things to focus on in my life. I was getting ready for college, and I was getting my first job, and I just told myself, like, there are other things that I have to pay attention to, other things I have to deal with, blah, 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 drama, blah. But honestly, I could never, ever shake the feeling that I made some kind of terrible mistake, because even if these videos don't get that many views, honestly, I just did it back when I was young because I loved it. And I don't like saying back when I was young because I'm still young, guys. I mean, I'm only 23. And I know some people are like, oh, God, you're 23. I mean, you are an adult. But, like, no, I am still young. I'm not as young as I was. But I'm still young. And I've come to the conclusion, like, dealing with my depression and just, learning how to deal with it and learning how to get on with life. Because I was in a very, in a very dark place for a while. I've just realized that sometimes we take life for granted. Days pass us so quickly, and we shouldn't keep ourselves from doing what we want to do just because we're a little afraid of it. Like I have depression. I was about to say I had depression. Like, no, I still have it. I still struggle with it sometimes, so I'm not nearly as bad as I used to be. And when I got the help that I needed, obviously, thank goodness I did. It, made my life so much better and the lives of everyone around me better. But I don't know. I just feel like as of recent, I've just been questioning my choices. Like, why do I keep myself from doing the things I want to do? Why do I disallow myself these kinds of things? And so, I think it was last week, I just went on Amazon. I looked at microphones, found one with some decent reviews that was like $20, and I said, bye now. And yeah, it came to me in the mail, and that day I did my first voiceover ever for my I'm Back video. I shared it on my Facebook that I barely touch with my friends and my family, and I shared my story like I'm sharing with you guys right now. And if any of my friends and family, or if any of my old subscribers, or new viewers, new subscribers, anyone is watching this right now, hi, how are ya? But seriously, if I have known you for a while, or if you're all my friends, thank you for being there, and thank you for supporting me in everything that I do, and thank you for supporting me now, obviously, because you're here. It might not seem like much to you, but it really is the world to me. And I like I said, I don't care if this gets 1 view, 10 views, 100 views, 1,000 views. I'm just doing this for me, guys. But anyway, I guess why I even like it so much is I have always been a fan of The Sims, and I will never forget, I was hanging out with this girl who lives down the street from me one day, back probably when I was 11, 12. That seems to be the whole time that this, I guess to give you some perspective, I was probably making Sims videos for 6 months to a year before my grandfather passed. But anyway, so I was hanging out with her, and one day we're in her room, or I think we're in her computer room, yeah, and she had one of those big bulky desktops, and she said, have you ever heard of The Sims? And I said, no, what is that? Or rather, I said, oh, is it like SimCity? Because my mom used to play it. Yes, guys, my mom used to kind of be a simmer. She played SimCity back when it was a big thing, when it first came out, a few decades ago. Oh, that sounded bad. Mom, I don't think you're old. Please don't take it like that, if you're even watching this. But anyways, oh, and just really quickly, this next part of the video that you're going to see, I had such a hard time. It's like I said, I have a really, really, really hard time with open living spaces, and it took me forever to figure out the layout for this living room. And then I'm not a huge fan of how tight the small dining room is, but guys, I didn't know what to do, and I did have a floor plan all laid out for this, and then actually the lot was just a little bit too small. I had a plan to build a kind of garage, actually, which you probably saw in the beginning. That was the room all the way to the left that I wound up deleting after I moved it to the back of the lot for a while. I wanted to make a kind of garage, even though I know we don't have cars. But, the floor plan that I had drawn up, and I was looking at floor plans online too, this house I found, this little ranch, had a double garage. Well, I figured I could only fit a single, and then I was having issues with the foundation, and I wound up just getting rid of it entirely. And if I had just had a little bit more space in this house, a couple more grid squares on each side, probably would have been better off. But whatever, these houses, honestly, if you guys are builders, or if you just download stuff and you don't change it at all, I do like to download stuff from the gallery sometimes if I don't feel like building, but you're always going to change a couple small things because you want these homes tailored to your sim families. So, if there's any small things, or any big things in here that you want to change, I just hope that this can at least be a good shell for you guys to work with. And I hope that, you like some of the ideas that I present here, and hopefully they can inspire you. And like I said, I'm watching this right now, and I am just reliving in my head this whole situation. I think a majority of this build is just this right here, was me trying to figure this out, that, and then the pause for cereal. But anyway, back to my story. Guys, I'm sorry, I get distracted really easily. This is more difficult than I thought. I am so sorry. Wow, I'm so rude. The whole talking thing for 25 minutes, I wasn't terribly worried about, but I did get worried about, talking about stories and just trying to, entertain you, or really just trying to talk to you about why I left without being horribly depressing. but then also trying to somewhat focus on the build, because obviously I don't want to sit here and be like, hey, this is a speed build, but I'm also just going to do a talk over about this. Like, no, I mean, or voiceover, I'm sorry. Like, no. But it's what it's becoming, so anyway, but back to it. So I was hanging out at this girl's house, and, you know, shout out to my mom for being an original Simmer. SimCity, heck yeah. Was one of the first PC games that I ever played. I had no idea what I was doing, but it was cool. But I was at this girl's house, and so she was showing me the original Sims game. And, like, she had made herself, and then she had, like, a husband, and I'm pretty sure his name was, like, Craig or something. I don't know. And I just think about that, because whenever I made, like, husband Sims, when I finally got the game, they were called Craig. I don't know why, guys. And that's not to say anything bad about anybody named Craig. If anybody named Craig is watching this right now, hey, what's up? I'm totally talking about you right now. But anyway, so she showed me this game, and I thought it was so interesting. And so finally, I was able to get my mom to buy it for me, and I got the complete collection. So I didn't play it when it first came out. I played it when the complete collection was put together. Probably shortly before or shortly after The Sims 2 was out, but I had no idea about The Sims 2. But I remember talking to this girl and saying, like, man, you know, it's a life simulation. We have pets and stuff like that, which is all cool. I wish we had cars, though. Imagine if you could have a car, and imagine if you could go to a different lot, because a lot of what you did in Sims 1 was based around your home lot. And as I recall, your needs would fall so quickly, it was really hard to go anywhere, you know? So I was like, oh, imagine if we had cars and we could do this and we could do that. Well, then one day we're sitting on the internet and we find that there is, in fact, a Sims 2 with cars. And I remember that being the big kicker for me, was cars. So we figured this out. We're like, oh my god, we have to get it. Well, my mom got me Sims 2, and then eventually got me several of the expansion packs. And that's when the whole YouTube thing started, because this girl, had been making YouTube videos. She was doing music videos as well, but she was not doing Sims. There was also this small culture of, like, Lion King and other Disney movies. You would take them and kind of dub them over with music, and you would make music videos. Well, I had her, and then I had some YouTube friends who I met through the YouTube community. That kind of sounded repetitive. I had YouTube friends who did the same thing, and so she was doing that, and I discovered that there was, you know, a group of people online who made Sims 2 music videos. And then I learned what machinima was, so that's what I started doing, and I had a whole lot of fun. And then my depression set in with the passing of my grandfather, and blah, blah, blah. We just told that story. But anyway, I guess the important thing is I'm back now. And I guess what I also really want to say is, you know, it's never too late. Which sounds really, really cheesy. But honestly, guys, like, if you had told me, say, even 3 or 4 years ago that in 2017, after almost 10 years of being away from being a YouTube creator, that I would be finally getting over my anxieties and my fears about it and just getting back into it, I would have laughed in your face. I would have said something is wrong with you. And I wouldn't have believed you, because as badly as I wanted to, I had to fight myself to do this. And I almost feel like Jim Carrey in that movie Yes Man, because I do have really bad anxiety issues about some things, and I just feel like as of late, like I said, I had this epiphany where it's like, I'm young and I still have time to figure things out, and, you know, my life might not be perfect, but I want it to be, you know, as perfect as it can be for me. But what's perfect for me might not be perfect for you, or Jerry, or Ashley, or whoever. I don't know who those people are, but if anybody is watching this, hi, I just totally called you out. But, you know, it's never too late, guys. I stepped away from this for almost 10 years, and I'm back at it now, and I don't know if I'll be successful or not, but all I care about is that I have fun along the way. And I've just been so darn excited. I really just hope that you guys enjoy my content, and, you know, I'm recording this right now. I don't even know if anybody's going to be watching this. I don't know if anybody's going to sit down and watch this video. I keep saying you guys, but I don't actually know that anyone's there. It's all hope, I guess. But, you know, if you are there, honestly, from the bottom of my heart, thank you for supporting me, and it means so much more to me than you'll ever know, and, you know, I hope that you guys stick around with me, and I really do hope that you enjoy this content that I put out. I hope that, you know, we can just have some fun along the way, whether it's 10 of you, 100 of you, 1,000 of you that watch me or more. I just want to have fun along the guy. I'm trying to be emotional, but I'm already messing it up. I just want to have fun. But anyway, I can see that this video is about to wrap up, and we're going to get into the screenshots, so... come on. I put in some planter boxes, and oh, there's the house, and boom, screenshots, everybody screenshots. We all scream for screenshots. Why? This is why I don't have friends. I'm just kidding. I actually do have friends, but there was a point in my life where I did not, and I think that you can tell why. I am very, very, very awkward. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope to see you in the next video. Please feel free to like, comment, subscribe. You can follow my Twitter, which is at ItsNat_game, because somebody took ItsNat. That made me very upset. But there you can just get my quirky updates from the day, and then find out, you know, when the next video will be posted. I will try to work out a video schedule, but for right now, it's just kind of up in the air as I get used to, you know, what I'm going to be publishing. But anyways, again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye, guys. Guys, I totally forgot to mention that this is available for download on the Sims 4 gallery. Search hashtag ItsNat. You should be able to find all of my uploads to the gallery just fine. My gallery name is a little bit different than my YouTube name. My YouTube name is ItsNat, and my gallery name is NatJack94, which is just a personal username that I normally use for other gaming stuff. I will try to change it, but just for the time being, if you just search hashtag ItsNat, all one word, you should be able to find all of my uploads to the gallery just fine. Thanks, guys.